Welcome to the wonderful world of Stamina DPS. Today I'm going to be showing you a build that is basically super glass cannon. I gotta admit, this is not going to be something that you can take onto dungeons and expect to solo very often. But this is one of those that does extreme damage, that dishes out as much as possible before it dies. That's basically what the goal was with this. And actually, it does have a good amount of survivability. I managed to pull out some pretty nice survivability, especially since the Warden has a lot of different types of heals and things like that. So it really helps keep that survivability up. But let me show you what I'm running. I'm gonna show you my stats. Okay, so what I got here, I don't have my food popped, so let me pop that so you can see what the full potential is. But let's see here. So I am a werewolf, so I am running werewolf. I'm using as my boon critical increase, so the thief. This lets my critical go up to about 60%, including Green Lotus. So having Green Lotus popped in that, it gets it to about 61, 62%, which is really, really good because you'll be critting pretty much all the time, and your crits are going to do some crazy damage, and especially if you put points in your champion points towards upping your damage on there, which I will show you in a second. But as far as my stats, I pumped everything into stamina. I'm running medium armor, so that's all stamina based stuff. Let me show you here. I am using two sets here. I'm using the air set, which I like to call the Air Jordan set, because what it does is you do your roll dodge, and it gives you a purpose actually doing your roll dodge. Before I'd never really done it, but in this one, it makes it so that it buffs your weapon and your spell damage by 320 for 6 seconds. It's great because I'll usually enter my battle doing roll dodge, and then I'll just start barraging them with everything I got. So it's really nice set to have here. It also increases your stamina recovery. So stamina recovery, what I'm doing, I'm just putting it on my rings and my necklace. Mainly because you start to run out of stamina sometimes, so you really gotta try to be careful with that. I like to mix that up with heavy attacks just to kind of get my stamina up, especially if you're gonna be fighting for a long time, like in dungeons, for example. But this one is really nice. I like this air set. I'm also using automatons set here that increases weapon damage of your physical stuff by 377. So that's nice, and it also grants another 121 weapon damage, and also critical, also increasing your stamina. It's all really nice stats. This is all stuff that definitely goes towards this build. So these are the two sets that I'm running. On my bow, I'm using bow and two-hander. So on the bow, I'm using sharpened with poison damage. I just wanted to go with that whole poison damage feel. You can go with whatever enchantment you want to go with. I'm using flame damage on my two-hander as well as sharpen on this one also, because that spell and physical penetration is definitely something worth picking up. And that's what I'm trying to buff here. My food that I'm using, let me show you that. Where's my food? Where's my food? This is my favorite food. I use this for all my characters, doesn't matter what. This long fin pasta, so because it increases everything by 4,000, so it's really nice. I like running that one. And let me show you the champion points. Champion points, I have them set up all in physical based stuff. Everything is all pumped into this. I'm using this. I got mighty to 10%. I didn't want to go beyond that because the diminishing returns are way too hard. So I'd rather not even bother wasting the points. I'm trying to get points into this one because I do have damage over time abilities, so I wanted to pick this up. And sometimes I like to use dual wielding every once in a while to kind of mix things up, and it's really nice to have this because there's a lot of dots in that set. I'm using piercing strikes. This increases the critical strike damage, and this is why I'm doing all that crit. I'm trying to get the 60% crit because you're critting all the time, and then this is proccing off higher damage for those crits, so it makes it really, really nice. I stopped at 20% because I felt like it was starting to get that diminishing return, so I didn't want to go any farther than that. I'm also trying to pick this up So basically, piercing and this I'm gonna be pumping once I level up more. But physical penetration is definitely worth getting. Let's go to my other lines here. We got I'm using tumbling. I got that to 15%. I stopped there because I felt like that was good enough. That definitely helps with since you have to roll to do more damage, makes it worth it to put points in this. Also, I mean, dodging is really important for this build. Otherwise, you're just gonna end up dying pretty much all the time. Let's see, we got Tenacity. I got this one, Tenacity. I think I said it right this time. I got that to 5%. I want to pick that up to 10%, so I'm gonna be working on that. Stamina recovery, I got that to 10%. I stop right there. There's no point in going any farther because diminishing returns. So let's see what else we got. On these lines, I pumped the rest of the points that I had left over into healing received here for quick recovery. I'm probably just going to keep pumping points into that. I'm using what's really important, I feel like on every single build I do, is I use Hardy and Elemental Defender. So I always get these, put 43 points in each, and stop there because the diminishing returns gets a little bit too hectic. So I like to just stop there. It makes it really good. It really increases your survivability a lot. So it's definitely worth getting. I don't have anything in this one. Alright, so I'm done with champion points now. Okay, so let's show you the skills that I'm running. Okay, so with bow, I'm using poison injection. I like this one because it adds that damage over time, that poison damage over time over 10 seconds, which is actually pretty good damage, especially when they start getting low on health. They get low to 50% health, and it starts really killing them. Like that thing is really sick, how much damage it does. I'm using a lightweight beast trap. This is in the Fighters Guild line. So in Fighters Guild, this is really awesome because it increases your critical damage done by 10% for those 6 seconds that it's ticking off. It's really awesome because I already have my thing going on to 20% on my champion points, so this picks it up at another 10%, so you're looking at 30% more to that critical damage. So this is definitely worth putting in the build, especially since it does a lot of damage too. It's really awesome. 3,000 damage initially, and then it starts ticking off like 10,000, 10,000. Like it goes, it's crazy. Especially since this is all critting. Like it just crits over and over, 9,000. Like it's ridiculous. So these two together is really nice. You could pretty much just, if you're fighting one mob by itself, you just throw these two things on, walk away, and watch it die. I'm using a Subterranean Assault. Subterranean Assault is really good because it has that whole it has the major fracture on it and the major breach, so it decreases the enemy's physical resistance and spell resistance. So it's really worth getting, and it does a hell of a lot of damage. So this, along with Acid Spray, which Acid Spray slows the mob down. It does that poison damage over time, which is garbage, honestly. I do it mainly for the actual bursting damage, which is 3,800. So I would use this, and then I'll just finish them off with Acid Spray, and that's usually how I do it. Green Lotus is awesome because this has a double purpose. You're healing yourself every time you do light or heavy attacks, and you're also increasing your critical chance, which that's what gets me up to the 60% that I have right now. I am using Flawless Dawnbreaker. This one is awesome because it increases your damage by 5%, and it's also a really good attack that's pretty much up all the time since it doesn't cost too much ultimate to use. And if you look at Fighters Guild, on the Fighters Guild, you're actually increasing your damage if you have multiple abilities in there. So on Fighters Guild, if you take all the passives, you're actually increasing your damage by a good 10%. Let me see. Actually, it's 6%. Okay, so it's 3% each item that you put in there in your tray. So, I mean, it's entirely up to you. You could even use this in the place of Green Lotus, but I love Green Lotus simply because of that heal. So I leave that in my build mainly for that. But you could even put this to add another 3% damage if you like. So that's entirely up to you. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at my two-hander side. So on two-hander, I am running a Dizzying Swings. This thing is really good. This is basically your finisher and your opener. You can use it for whatever the hell you want. This thing will devastate anything that it hits. So this is really awesome. Crushing critical rush is freaking awesome. This thing always crits, which is ridiculous. My crit chance is already ridiculous, and the amount of damage that this thing does is over the top. It does at least 12k most of the time, and it's like it's ridiculous. So pretty much you're just gonna be jumping around all over the place, and you'll be doing crazy damage. So it's awesome. I'm using a subterranean assault again, mainly because this thing is just way too good. And especially since that physical resistance debuff, it just makes it so worth it to pop. So I usually, if I'm AoEing, I would use this coupled up with reversing slice. I like reversing slice because it does 76% of the damage to everything around you. So I would go ahead and I hit that, and then I just spam the hell out of reversing slice until everything's dead. And then we have our final ability, Rally. I like Rally because it adds that heal thing to it. So you could even, in the middle of it ticking off, you can press it just to heal yourself. And it does a really good amount of healing. I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but it all buffs depending on how long that buff has been on you the whole time. So let's say if it was on for the whole 30 seconds and you pop it at 30 seconds, it's going to heal for probably like 10k or something. Like, it heals for a lot. So it's really nice to have. And then my ultimate, I'm using Werewolf. I like my Werewolf, so yeah, it's fun. Okay, so let me show you a little bit of what this build is like. So we're gonna go ahead and fight some mobs and shit. Oh, and by the way, I am a red guard, so I am getting all the bonuses of being a stamina character. So I got all these passives going on. So stamina recovery, maximum stamina, and also this one that I feel like never procs, but whatever, it's there. But yeah, let's just show you real quick what the damage is like. Basically, I just I pop my things like this, I rush in, boom, look at that, fucking thing is dead. I wasted my attack, I didn't even have to do that. But this shit is like ridiculously sick. The damage on this thing is over the top. Now let me go to my bow. Let me just show you what the dots are like. Watch. Just watch him die. Look at that. Look at that. Love it. I don't even have to attack. That's why I like those first two abilities, because you don't even have to do anything. You can just watch them die. So usually I'll do this. I'll do my roll, and I'll start doing some of these attacks. You see, like, it's over the top. If I fought a group of mobs, I would usually start with throwing this trap in just to buff myself, and then I'll do this acid spray along with the beetles flying up to do the maximum amount of damage possible. And I usually open up with that. That way, the beetles will fly up, and then they do all that damage, and boom! Look at that, 17,000, almost 18,000 from doing Dizzying Strike. So yeah, this build is pretty sick. I'm gonna be doing a couple more videos on this character. I do want to show you what the werewolf is like on its own. So I'll be doing a couple videos with that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and leave a comment if you have anything you would like to see in the future, or the future builds, or anything that you would like to see with this build, whatever. Let me know, and hit that like button if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.